You know what that beat reminds me of? Hello, everybody.
The final countdown.
No. You know that TikTok trend where they're all trying to bob their heads, and every single white person is always off beat,
Dun, dun, dun,
and it's
dun,
not
dun,
even
dun.
hard. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and everyone's always off beat. It's like it's not that hard.
Hey, white people can't dance, man.
Whoa, what the hell?
It's a good flashlight, dude. We did the that Lights Before Christmas promotion that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And I got one of these leftover flashlights, and it's a good flashlight.
Yeah, I need to get one for my car just for emergencies. But it's right now it gets dark.
That LED.
Yeah.
It gets dark around what? 3:30. It's gonna get dark in 30 minutes.
For you, really?
No, it gets dark at like.
Yeah, it's like dark by like 5:30 right now.
Dude, I hate it, man. That's like.
I don't mind it.
Really?
No, not particularly.
Dude, yeah, I'm looking right now because it tells you on the weather app. Sunset 5:01.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Dude.
That.
No.
I don't mind that at all, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite, man.
Dude,
I like it in the summer whenever it's like 9 o'clock and the sun's like barely down.
Nah, dude, it's still hot then. Today, right now, it's 56. Currently at where my house is, but the past 2 weeks have been 75, 80. I'm like,
bro,
I wouldn't obviously I'm here in San Antonio, but I wouldn't mind moving to it. And me and the lady, we've talked about Houston, but it's still Texas, and it's still hot, and it's even muggier because it's right on the coast. I'm like, let's go to Colorado. We get all 4 seasons. Or
Colorado would be nice. Hold on, stop talking for a second.
There's a tick.
Is that you? There it goes. It's gone.
Okay.
I was just making sure I wasn't losing my mind, dude. This is my second podcast of the day, so I'm like, hold on. Have I had these headphones on too long? Dude, but yeah, about the weather. Hold on. Did you see? I posted this week. I forget what day it was, Wednesday or Thursday. It was like 60 degrees here.
Yeah.
In Michigan.
Yeah.
In December.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I saw that
going on. It's
the next day. It was now. Yeah, dude. I wouldn't mind for 34 right about now. It's weird because my neighbor's always like, "Oh, Pete's wearing pants," because I always just wear shorts.
Pete's. That sounds like a childhood chant of calling someone like a booger face or something. Pete's wearing pants. Pete's wearing pants.
Yeah, and I have to wear pants now because of my job. But yeah, shorts is it. And when we had that snowstorm earlier this year, I was trying to get my girlfriend's car out of the snow. I was in shorts and some shoes and in a tank top, just shoveling. I was like, this is great, dude.
Dude, that's how my dad is, or that's how my dad used to be. He would not wear pants no matter what.
Yeah.
That Michigan weather, though, it's a cliche, but the weather will flip-flop out of nowhere all the time. That is true, and it does the same in Oklahoma.
Anywhere. Boise would flip too. In the same day, it'd be 75, and then it dropped down to 40. There'd be a nice cold front coming in from the Rockies.
Right. But some areas, the flip-flop is hella aggressive. One day, literally in Oklahoma, it could be 80, and then the next day it's
yeah, but freezing. You're on the plains, right? So all those winds come through.
When the winds come sweeping down the plains, my dog.
Yeah, but I mean, in Boise, like I said, Boise would be the same day. It'd be high of 75, and then by evening it'd be 40 degrees, and you're like, how is there a 30-degree drop in the same day within 6 hours?
We're all gonna die, dude.
Yeah. I put up a thing the other day and it was what was it?
When I grow up.
Yeah, when I grow up, and it's boy, it's 75 in December. You ain't growing up.
Yeah, I think it was kids these days. I can't wait till I grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Speaking of couple things. First of all, I did on the phone, we're talking about our phones. Now that I'm working and I'm on my feet all day and just running around, I've been tracking my steps more. And
what are those steps looking like?
What was it? Yesterday? I wish it showed me yesterday.
Over 10,000?
Yeah, I'm averaging about 9,000 steps a day, whereas before I was averaging about 3,000 sitting behind the desk all day.
That's good.
So yeah, dude. Thursday I did about 11,000 steps, 12,000 steps.
There you go.
So
Getting it
which le-
in.
which leads me to my next thing because I did have like a 3 week period where I wasn't working and I was every day I was walking the dog, like just getting my exercise in because
Hmm.
I'm losing my mind, not working also.
Sure.
And right about when we I went to Houston for my girlfriend's birthday, she did like a weight loss, not a weight loss thing, but a weight challenge through her work. But she sent me the PDF file and like just did it with her just for fun.
Okay.
And it was maintain, don't gain. That's what it was called. Just maintain your weight for the next 4 weeks. And it started like the week of Thanksgiving and it ended this past Monday.
The week of
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
yeah, yeah. They
Who? Hold on.
they set it up. They set it up.
Who does that?
Yeah, I
Let's
don't
start
know.
a weight loss journey the week of
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
or maintain. It was just maintain, don't gain.
Right.
Like even
Right.
if you maintain. So I finished it up, and in the 4 weeks it happened, I lost 6 pounds. So I'm kind of like high on myself right now. I was like, you know,
So,
not
let's.
working, sitting at home all day, just only walking the dog, meal prepping because I wasn't getting a paycheck. So it was just like
Right.
meal prepping. Dinner every night was the same for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
6 pounds, dude. I was like,
That's what's up, man.
yeah.
So with this program that I don't know what to call it. I'll call it a program. Was it mostly of like being in a caloric deficit? Like, was it counting calories? Was it like, hey, get this amount of steps? Like, what did it look like?
No, it was like there was a category like 1 through 10, and if in each day I kind of stopped doing it because I forgot. It was like I left it under a bunch of paperwork on the top of my microwave. But it was like 1 through 10 is like you ate a healthy breakfast. Number 2, you meditated for 10 minutes. Like just healthy habits, creating healthy habits
Sure.
over 4 weeks. And then like tier 2 was like you walked 2 miles today or something like that. And you meal prepped for the week and you stretch for 15 minutes, and so you would put like on Tuesday, I did 1, 13, 21,
Yeah, you're
and
marking off what you do that
yeah,
day.
like maybe I didn't meditate one day, which would be number 8, but I did do stretching, which would be number 9. So I would just put that in the box for Tuesday.
Cool.
So it wasn't like tracking anything like number wise, just
Hmm.
healthy habits.
Sure.
And yeah, I stopped writing in, but with work and just walking the dog or not working, just and not having a paycheck, it was meal prep every week, walking the dog, and then I started working, and my steps went up. You said 10,000 steps is about 5 miles,
Yeah, but
rough, give or
that's
take.
according to Fitbit. I
Yeah,
don't. The more that I think about that, because that's been something that's stuck in my head, and it's so funny because I could just research it at any
yeah,
moment, but I never do, and I
yeah,
just constantly just question it in my head. I'm just,
yeah.
I think about it a lot, dude.
I mean,
It's kind of funny how much I think
I'll
about it.
Google it right now.
Yeah, let's break this down because it feels like 5 miles is way more than 10,000 steps. I guess it really
On
depends on
average, how far is 10,000 steps? On average.
if you're running, it's way more. If you're
Oh yeah,
walking,
obviously.
so what's it say?
The Googling, how Google has a thing up top.
Yeah.
It says on average, a person has a stride length of about 2.1 to 2.5 feet. That means it takes over 2,000 steps to walk 1 mile, and 10,000 steps would be almost 5 miles.
Okay, so it's
Like,
accurate. Walking.
Yeah, on average.
Got it.
Again, depends on the stride because
Yeah.
I know I got a shorter stride.
Yeah.
So
How many steps you're getting in that
So let's
mile?
just say on average for the last week, I've been walking about on average around
Close to 5 miles.
4 to 5 miles a day.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Inside a warehouse where it's hot. So I'm like sweating and we have to wear sleeves.
You
So I'm
staying
just
on
like,
that Gold Bond powder, dude?
yeah.
Walking 5 miles in jeans in a muggy warehouse. I already know that. I already know what's going on down there, dude.
Yeah. Thankfully, I have some good jeans that like are kind of loose fitting around that area. So
Mhm.
it's not like super tight. Like I see some guys wearing some Wranglers and I'm like, woo, I'm not trying to check out your junk, but I know it's super tight up there,
Yeah.
my dude. So yeah, so those are just like the two things that I was like, 6 pounds, I'll take it. You know,
Dude, that's what's up. And that's within, I'm sorry, a week?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, so that's like
A pe-
over a pound a week.
Yeah, which they say is like a healthy way to lose weight. You want to lose about a pound a week.
Yeah. Dude,
So
keep doing it.
yeah, I mean, I still am. Like, I'm not making good money still, so I'm like, meal prep it is.
Even when you start making good money, meal
No,
prep.
exactly. I mean, even when I lived with you, we were doing meal prep. So it's
Yep.
and it's a lot of like I get like I think it's like 3 pounds of turkey, and then I do rice and frozen veggies, and I just stir it all up and make like this faux stir fry kind of thing, and
Yeah.
that's my meal for
Dude, and it
that's about
does.
8 or 9 meals, and it cuts down on like going out.
Yeah. It does get like mundane
Boring. Yeah.
because every Sunday I get out the crock pot,
Yeah.
dump the chicken in,
Yeah.
cook the rice, cook the sweet potato, and
You got to
every
find
day.
new recipes though. That's the thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
or at least new seasonings. Be like, I'm gonna try turmeric this week. See what it does, or see some
Yeah.
recipes.
Yeah.
I've been following a lot of cooking stuff lately because the lady likes to cook, and so I found some instead of chicken breast tenders that like homemade chicken breast tenders, it was salmon tenders, and they did honey hot sauce salmon tenders, and I was like, my dude.
Are these like fried salmon tenders?
Yeah, you put them in a pan, and you use some vegetable oil or olive oil or
Okay, so
whatever.
just like yeah, okay.
But
Was
it's
trying to
healthier. It's a healthier meat than chicken. Obviously, salmon's expensive. I can't do it yet, but
Yeah, and salmon's one of those like you want to mix it in, but you don't want to eat it every day.
yeah, exactly.
Get those
Same with
healthy
tuna.
fats in.
Yeah, there was a couple weeks where I was doing tuna for like 2 weeks, and I was like, this is unhealthy. It's a lot of tuna.
Getting that mercury, boy.
Yeah, but yeah, and I follow this other cooking lady, and she does like healthy breads, like homemade bread. I'm not making homemade bread, but she
Dude.
does other things as well. She made like a homemade, like healthy, like apple crisp. And I was like,
Mm.
different sugars, different sugar substitutes, instead of, and
Mm-hmm.
then she made some like salmon bites. So instead of chicken nuggets, or it was like salmon nuggets, and I was like, man, I wish I could afford salmon. I love fish, dude.
Dude, speaking of, whenever you said healthy bread, this made me think of because I found this brand through like doing like research, like
Yeah.
I'll nerd out on meal prep, I'll nerd out on all
Yeah.
these things. This really good bread the brand is Ezekiel bread. Have you heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
They like come with like the Bible verses on them.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that bread is
Pretty good.
solid. It's so expensive though.
Yeah. I
And it's in
usually
the
go
freezer
with,
section, but it's like
yeah.
it's on point. And
Yeah. I
it's like
usually
not
go
bad for you.
another alternative, which is a little bit cheaper and maybe not as healthy as Ezekiel bread, but it's healthier than all the other like processed breads, is Dave's Killer Bread.
Oh yeah, I've had that too.
I just buy it off the shelf and I throw it in the freezer to make it last longer.
Yep.
Same with Ezekiel bread. So I'm like, I'm eating healthier breads too. And now I prep my lunch, obviously, because I don't work at a station with McDonald's right there. Like, I'm working in a warehouse out across San Antonio.
Yeah.
So
Got to take your lunch.
yeah. So it's
dude.
sandwiches and Cheez-Its, bro.
Yeah.
And I've been taking cherry tomatoes or like a fruit. So like an
Mm.
apple or some raspberries or some cherry tomatoes to like offset it.
That's what's up, dude.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Change 3.0. I'm changing myself again.
Let's go, baby. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Speaking on the opposite terms of that, guess what I did last night? Food wise.
Drugs? Oh.
No. No, food wise.
Homemade or takeout?
No, did not. Well, it's something you buy at the store, but it's
Okay.
not like homemade.
Got you.
And I ate the whole thing.
A frozen pizza.
No.
Oh.
No.
I was like, maybe you came to the dark side.
No.
Is it frozen? Obviously, is it frozen?
Nope, not frozen.
You make your own wings?
No.
Did you?
It's a very processed, not good for you, like staple in a standard American household.
Cereal?
And you know what this means because you know me.
Yeah.
I ate a whole box of Crunch Berries.
No, dude.
The whole thing, dude.
Are you not drinking for December?
I haven't drank in um
Like a week?
no. I haven't drank since November something.
Nice.
I just haven't been drinking. But ate a whole box.
It's so unhealthy still.
Dude.
Do I drink a 6-pack of beer or a whole box of cereal?
dude, this was the first time I'd had cereal in I don't know when.
Last time I
And
had cereal was when I lived with you because we both went. We're like, we're doing cereal, and
yeah,
you got
and I
Crunch
had one of
Berries.
those. I had one of those moments, dude. We were in the grocery store and
Yeah,
on the
dude,
aisle, and I
now
was
I
like,
want cereal. I just went grocery shopping this morning, dude, I mess with, I fuck with all the Reese's like
yeah,
puffs. Dude, they're so good,
yeah, they
and
are
it's
good.
so bad because it just like tears up your mouth. But like, give me more.
Oh, dude, my mouth. This like, I'm surprised I don't have blood just dripping out of my mouth right now. It's so raw. It's like it's just like fleshy, like
Yeah,
it's scraped to shit.
yeah,
But dude, that was my dinner last night. Like I got home
a
and
whole
I was like,
box.
I'm gonna have a bowl,
What did your
one
lady
bowl turned.
say?
She wasn't here whenever I was eating it. I don't even
Oh.
think she knows that I ate it. Like, but it's gone. One sitting, dude. Whole box.
Oh, dude, that much milk would destroy me. Because if you're gonna get, because I usually do almond milk, but if you're gonna like go down that road of like processed cereal, just give me that normal like 1%, 2%.
Mm-hmm. I used water.
Shut up. I don't believe
I
you.
was trying to keep a straight face, but
Yeah,
no, yeah, I used 2%.
yeah, yeah.
It was
Just
good.
if I'm gonna wreck my life with cereal, might as well wreck my whole body with some milk because me and milk don't get along. But if I'm going down that road with cereal, I want some real milk. I don't want almond milk. I don't want soy milk. I want
Mm-hmm.
the cow.
And I thought about it too because like whenever I made the decision in the store, I was like, okay, I'm getting some cereal. I went and looked at the milk and I was like looking like oat milk, almond milk. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and make this healthy. And I was like, nah,
No,
nah,
no.
give me that
Yeah.
cow, baby, straight out the udder.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I had for
What did I have
supper,
for
dinner last night. Do you say supper or dinner?
dinner?
I'm wondering if supper is a Southern thing now. Because whenever it came out of my mouth, I feel like I haven't had or said supper in a long time. But I feel like I used to say supper a lot. Have you ever said supper?
Never.
It might be a Southern thing.
I got Joey because I'm gone all day now. I'm working 10-hour days. I got an automatic dog feeder,
Oh, cool.
and it's going off right now.
Is that what that was?
Do you hear it? Like ting ting ting.
Yeah.
Ting? Yeah, that's his food coming out.
Oh, dude, you know what I asked for? You know what I asked Santa for Christmas?
What? A
A
PS5.
Xbox 360. Xbox 360.
Yeah.
No, I asked Santa for a how did I lose my train of thought? Oh, the dog feeder. Like one of those pet cameras.
Oh yeah.
Like you can put in your house and like
Mhm.
it has like a microphone, like you can talk
Yeah.
to
Or
them.
just a normal security camera because all four of my cameras
Mm-hmm.
have microphones, so I could talk through it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I asked for one of those so I could
Nice.
keep an eye on the gill.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get more cameras just around my house, but they're kind of a pain. Like obviously, I won't get into it. It's just dummy. I just want more cameras around my house.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Got to protect your throne, dude.
Yeah, is that good, buddy?
Did he already eat it?
Yeah. So I could do portion sizes. So before I leave for work, I feed him myself.
Mhm.
With but this container needs a special kibble. And my previous bag was like clumps and pieces of chicken that were a little bit bigger.
Mhm.
So now I got 2 separate bags of food.
So you feed him the original one, and
I
then
feed him the original one in the morning before I leave, and then I have a small portion for lunch because I could give portion sizes. And then by the time I'm driving home, it's dinner time, so I give him his full portion around 5:30, 5 o'clock. And then
Joseph.
Yeah.
What brand is it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think I have the box in my garage. I'll send you a picture after.
Okay,
But yeah, I think it was like $80,
not bad.
something like that. Yeah.
Dude, Gabby is so weird, like with her eating habits. Like, I'll feed her in the morning and come home like after work, hasn't touched it, but it's like super weird. Like, as soon as one of us walks in the door, she'll like go and like start eating immediately. It's like almost like she doesn't want to eat while we're not here.
Weird.
It
Yeah.
is weird.
No, he's at first he was scared of the thing. It was like, what the hell is like but now he loves it. He'll never it's like Pavlov's theory. Like he hears like ding 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 ding
And
ding ding.
knows
And he's like, food.
food time.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine at first he was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Oh,
So
dude. I hurt myself.
Jim,
Yes.
hernia.
No. No, no, no. I got super lucky. Because I've seen some of these injuries where it like you have to have surgery and stuff. So rewind about a month and a half, somewhere in that time frame.
Mhm.
I was benching, and as I was like coming up on my bench, I felt like a little, not like a pop, but just like imagine someone like flicking your tit while you're benching. I felt that, no pain, but I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
And then like the next day I was like kind of sore, and I was like stayed sore for like at least a month, like 4 to 6 weeks. I was like tender. And so after like I started like losing the soreness, start going in and just grabbing just like the bar and like testing out like, okay, that feels good. Just slowly adding weight until I'm back to what I think is like normal. I have no
Yeah.
pain, full range of motion, nothing's wrong. And then you fast forward to last week, Wednesday, and they're doing a full body workout. I do my squats, do my deadlifts, do my cleans, all that shit. And then I go to bench, and I'm like, okay. And I'm not doing anything crazy weight. Like, I think I had like, it's like my own body weight, basically. And so I'm in there and I'm on my third set, last rep,
Pop.
and I'm going up and I'm straining, like I'm working for it. And I get like halfway, and this one wasn't a pop. This one was like, it's hard to explain. It felt like Velcro, like there's a piece of
Oh.
Velcro right here, and someone took the Velcro and was like, and ripped it off. And as soon as that happened, because I had my headphones in and everything, like I said it so loud, like I could hear myself say it. I was like, I just fucked myself up, and like got it racked and like stood up, and I was in such shock that like I almost like I had to sit down, like I almost passed out, dude. Because you've seen those videos of like where people's pec muscle just like rips off, like it
Yeah.
just like contracts. I thought that's what had happened.
Yeah.
And so like I sit down and I'm like literally like trying to catch my breath and like not lose consciousness. And then finally like I get like enough courage, I guess, and I like start moving my arm around, I'm like, okay, the muscle is still in place, like everything's fine. And then so I start looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not in any pain. And then fast forward the next day, the pain sets in. And it's like, it's not, I want to say it's a tendon, but I haven't been to the doctor yet because I'm just kind of monitoring it to see if it was something like what happened before.
Doing a guy thing.
Yeah, doing a total
Doesn't hurt
guy
that
thing.
much yet.
But like this part, like if you feel not so much the muscle, but that little, I guess it's a tendon right there, is like so sore. So like my hand, if I apply pressure this way, like moving out, like if I were going to move this way, no pain at all. Same thing up, same thing down. But if I go to move something in,
That
like
hurts.
even like closing a car door, it's like super tender. And then like if I were to like push myself up off of the desk right now to stand up, super tender.
I want to go checking that out.
Yeah, so I'm giving it a second. So like I started immediately doing research. I'm like, okay, dude, like what's going?
I'm doing my own research. Joe Rogan over
or
here.
I won't call it research. I start looking online for people that have said they have this like similar injury,
Yeah.
And like a common thing you'll see is like if you have a ripped Like if you ripped your pectoral muscle,
A bruise.
it'll bruise like so bad. I have no bruising. I have no swelling. There's no lumps or anything. I've like been feeling my tit for like the past 5 days. And everything looks, feels normal except for those 2 ranges of motion. So I feel like I kind of cheated or like escaped narrowly from like a serious injury, but it's
Yeah.
still like I'm not going to be able to do any type of chest work or anything like that for at least a month and a half, maybe
Yeah.
more, like depending on
What it is.
how this heals and like what it is.
Speaking of
But
lifting, have you seen Huggy's videos?
yeah, he's been
He's
lifting too.
dude, he's in great shape.
Yeah, getting it, man.
Yeah. I was like, damn,
Dude. But yeah, no, shout out Huggy. That's awesome. I've been seeing him, pushing
Yeah.
himself, and that's great.
Yeah.
But like with this injury, like you know me well enough to know that like the gym is
Is your
my
safe
yeah.
place.
I don't like being one of those, guys. It's like a gym bro or a gym rat. I wouldn't call myself that by any means because I don't really talk about. I mean, I'm talking about it right now because I
Yeah.
hurt myself, but I'm not like on here every episode like, dude, I got a new PR or like, dude, I
Yeah.
squatted this. I'm not that level of it, but it is like my therapy. It's where I work all my shit out in my head. It's where I can go for an hour a day to just like
Yeah.
let everything out, in a positive and constructive way.
Yeah.
And now that's kind of like taken from me.
We can
And so
still go in and do cardio.
so I did cardio yesterday. I ran a
Do
couple
legs,
miles. Yeah, I can do squats, I can do deadlifts and stuff, but just knowing that like I can't
bench.
fully like go in there and do everything I want.
Which it like benching is like the quintessential like lifting.
Yeah,
Like,
it's one of like the core workouts,
yeah.
you know. Um but it's kind of like put me in like a little depression dip
Oh,
because
well, go
I
to the
just
doctor.
I'm gonna
Get it
let
figured out sooner so you can get it back in sooner. Don't be
right.
like, I want to wait it out.
Well, I want to because I don't want to. Here's the thing,
You
like
don't want to pay for it.
financially, yeah, it's like I have health insurance and stuff like that. But if I can, here's where I'm at. Like if I go to a doctor and they tell me, and they look at it and everything, and they're not like, oh, hey, yeah, no, this is ripped. We need to do surgery. Like if I go in for that, and I'm like, okay, it's a good thing that I came in. But if I go in and pay for whatever they're gonna do to it, and they're like, oh yeah, no, just take it easy for 6 to 8 weeks. It's like they're telling me something that I already have came to like on my
Yeah, but
own.
you don't know until you go to the doctor.
I am a doctor, Mijo.
So, okay.
I'm getting the death glare right now because she, she's been saying the same thing. She's like, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, okay, I'm going to. Let me monitor it for a couple of days. Like, let me see what's up. But dude, if my like you've seen those videos, if it would have
Yeah.
been like that, or if I would have had any bruising or anything like that, I would have already been to the doctor
Yeah.
because like I don't want to be hurt. Like I don't want to be injured. Like I don't like if it is, I want it to get fixed. But
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it for a second.
Yeah. You did luck out though.
I know, super lucky.
Those
It could have
videos
been,
are disgusting.
dude. That one like main video where that dude's like on incline, and and he's like, he might not have a shirt on, but he might have on like one of those like things where
Yeah.
you can see, and he's like pushing up, and you just see the whole muscle go. Whack. Have you seen that
Dude,
one?
I think so.
Oh, dude, it'll make you sick to
But
your
I
stomach.
even if I didn't see it, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
I've seen
immediately
similar
just
videos.
dropped. Ugh, gnarly. But yeah, so lucked
Yeah.
out. Hopefully,
Yeah.
come next week, I might be in a sling and be like, yeah, I got surgery in a month. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. So what else?
You before we started recording said that you had something
Yeah,
going on.
Me and the lady, we've like talked about getting married. And it's not happening anytime soon, but we've talked about the idea of it,
Okay.
and then we just started talking about like kids' names if we have kids and like last names and all that stuff and
Well,
things
the
like
last
that.
name would be your name, right?
Well, that's tradition, right? The lady takes the man's name because it's tradition.
Mm-hmm.
But we were like, she's like, I like my last name. I want to keep my last name. I'm like, all right, fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I saw a Reddit thread where people were like, you know, I 25 girlfriend, you know, or female, and
Mhm.
my fiance. He's like, he doesn't have a great relationship with his family, and he doesn't really care for his last name. And I'm in the same boat. Like, I don't really talk to my family. I don't personally care for my last name. So we've thought about like, we just wanted ideas on what other people might have done in the situation where they don't care for their last names, or any ideas. And somebody, like, one of the comments was like, yeah, we're in this boat, and we changed both our last names to the street we met on, like our first date.
Oh,
So it was like John and Jane Foote, Foote, right? But for example, like their last name, his last name was something else, and her last name was something else, and they just changed it to Foot or Smith, like whatever name they picked.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And another person was like, "Oh yeah, we combined our last names because, you know, we wanted to create our own new tradition. Like, I still love my family, he still loves his family, but we want to do something for ourselves. So
Interesting.
so we just combined our last name." And so I brought that up to her, and like, I love my family and she loves her family, and I like my last name and she likes her last name. So we floated the idea of like combining it, maybe.
Okay, so what's her last name?
Wells,
Wells, and yours is Schlesinger. So, Wellinger, Wellinger,
maybe.
Wellinger. That
We,
sounds
we
cleaner.
thought we did Welsinger or Welsinger.
Welsinger, Welsinger, or
I did Swells, but
Swells.
that's like one letter of mine, and that's
Yeah.
so
Shells.
I don't,
Shells.
well,
Shells. Mijo shells.
yeah. But it was just like just an idea, like, just, you know, we're not,
A conversation.
yeah, we're just
Yeah.
like throwing, because another topic that we've just talked about, you know, obviously, like, I would consider myself an ally to women, and there, if you think back on history, like, no women have kept their last name, like, throughout history. It's always been the men's names,
Mm-hmm.
like, ever.
I'm sure that there's some,
Some,
especially
but like
now. I'm sure
recorded
that,
history,
yeah,
like, let's say even 100 years ago and previous, you
yeah.
know, like,
Traditionally,
yeah.
yeah.
So it was just like, you know,
Did you hear that?
it's the text message coming in
Oh,
because you got it. So yeah, we were just having that discussion, and she's like, you know, and so I brought it up to a family member, and they were like, "Don't you dare! Like, you're going to disrespect your father." Obviously, we know who my family member. She's like, "It's tradition. You want to follow an internet trend and this and that." I'm like, "It's just an idea. Like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you because it is interesting. You know, like,
it's
even
interesting for sure.
and then like just hyphenating. You know, like, if she took my last name, but like, would I take her last name if we hyphenated? You know,
So you would both hyphenate.
yeah, that's an idea too. But it's like, it's interesting. It's an interesting concept that like the men never have to change their names, but women are supposed to. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, when you speak of tradition, then it's like, well, I'm supposed to like pay for my wife the dowry, right? So if we're talking about tradition, like, nobody pays someone's dad to like take their bride. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, could I purchase your daughter for, you know, what's her price?
Yeah.
2 cows, $5,000. I don't fuck, you
Yeah.
know.
2 cows and a goat.
Or like, tradition always says like, I pay the dowry to the family, and essentially they're paying for the wedding. You know, the
Yeah.
female or the lady's parents pay for the wedding. It's like, what are these traditions? And like, yeah, like, I do love my last name, and it's obviously part of my family history, but it's just a name at the same time. Like Peter, like, what did Peter Clay? Like, these are
Or
just sounds,
or
you
like
know?
here's like a concept, like who's to say that like you can't get married and just keep both of your names how they are?
No, I already told her. She's like, if we were to get married, would you expect to take my last name? I was like, no. If you just wanted, even if you didn't want to hyphenate, if you want to keep your last name, keep your last name. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna get hung up on that.
it doesn't matter really.
Yeah, it doesn't. None of it matters. That's the thing.
It
You
really
know,
doesn't. I mean, the only and
because
even like with marriage, it's like sure you get a tax break, but like
yeah, we're
what?
still, but it doesn't. The last name doesn't matter. Like we get a tax break regardless because we're married.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like just the whole concept of marriage. You go from being
Yeah,
boyfriend and girlfriend or boyfriend and boyfriend or
yeah,
girlfriend and girlfriend or whatever
yeah.
to being married. Like what does that really mean outside of the tax break?
I think it's just an.
Now it's legal.
Well, no, I think it's more of like the celebration of it all is just like a commitment, like showing people a commitment, like your friends, family, like, hey, I'm committed to this person.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think that it
Yeah, it's my
probably
text messages coming in. I think it's
move
my
that phone, man.
What?
Now that I'm thinking about this, I think that marriage is like a religious institution.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it is.
Because we even talked about it and we're like, what would stop us this Wednesday just going down the courthouse? And we've talked
Nothing.
about that. We've talked about it. We're like, do we need like maybe we'll have a celebration like a year or two, kind of like Bobby. Like, let's just go get, what's to stop us in the middle of June or July? Be like, it's time. Like, let's just do our thing.
Mm-hmm. And so, as a friend, and this is just for the podcast, we'll have a real conversation on it later. But for the podcast and keeping it interesting, as your friend, are you sure about this? Like, because I feel like this is a fairly new relationship. You said that the conversation has just been brought up, and you guys have floated the idea. Do you feel like it's too early?
So we haven't even done a year yet.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I want to do at least a year. Like we've been together for a year, and again, I don't think it's happening this week or on our anniversary.
Right.
But within the next year, I think we're going to get married.
Gotcha. And you
by
feel
by December of next 2022. It's gonna.
that's a date that you guys have both agreed on in conversation?
Before the end of next year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. Hold on, but real quick, I know it sounds and it's a weird conversation to have, but what kind of friend would
No,
I be?
absolutely. No, because some people get married, after 6 months.
Right.
Some people get married after 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, too short, too long? Because I
Right.
know somebody that like they dated for like 3 years and they were engaged for 2, and she finally like had enough and was like, I'm done. Like
Yeah.
left him.
Because see, even
Like
on like
if you propose to me, like why aren't we taking steps to marriage? Like you obviously were committed to me. Like what's the holdup now?
right
And then she had enough and was like
out.
And then like 6 months later, he had a new girl, and I was like, good for you. But
Yeah. And see,
obviously you
like
weren't as committed. Like
even putting myself in that role, it's like if I were to talk to and granted we're not there yet, but like if I were to talk to my friends,
yeah,
and be like, oh yeah, we're thinking about getting married. If not one friend was like, hey, like have you thought like
yeah,
just being a friend, like have you thought about this? Like this is something like you're like
yeah,
really like wanting to commit to, like you feel good
yeah,
about it. I'm
yeah.
not saying
But
like
again,
having a friend come at you and be like, dude,
yeah.
are you
What are you?
I'm not
Yeah,
talking about that. I'm talking about like a
yeah.
genuine like,
If there
hey,
was
I
red
care
flag,
for you,
yeah,
I care for you in this
yeah. And if
aspect.
there
And
was red flags and like we were talking, to be like, yo, I don't like this about her, but like I still love her. You'd be like, are you sure? I get
right.
that, but I've praised her since I met her,
Mm-hmm.
And I think like I kind of joked about it in the beginning of the relationship because I was like, she's the one.
Mm-hmm.
But like as we've progressed and it's almost been a year, like around September, October ish, like we were like August, September, October, we were having some like really intense just discussions about our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like volatile. We were like very communicative and
Mm-hmm.
like finding solutions together rather than just like bickering.
Right.
And I was like, this is like really healthy.
Healthy.
And
Yeah.
and I was like, we can move. I feel comfortable moving forward with a life with her
Hmm.
because I know, yes, we'll get angry and we'll have arguments, but as long as we communicate and not just be like, well, you like don't hold grudges, like you did this 6 months ago, it's like,
Right.
so
Well,
I
that's
was like,
good.
it like came up in my head more, and like we've been talking about it more, and she's on board, and she's like, you're the dude, like you're like, I've had great relationships, and she said like, I've had great relationships, people were good to me, like I've never been in an abusive relationship, but like they weren't just as understanding or communicative, and
Hmm.
sometimes they shelter their feelings, and she's like, you're a very emotional person, like I understand I am.
That's a
So,
that's a good thing though.
yeah, and she's like, you communicate very well, and she said the same thing, like I'm comfortable moving forward with you. I was like, dope. So yeah, I mean, I don't know when I'm gonna do it, obviously. um I need to get a ring. Thankfully my mom has my grandmother's ring
Hmm.
that she's going to give me. She's been holding it for years, obviously, since my grandma passed away. So she's
Right.
like, she's like, you have the engagement ring, but you got to buy your own wedding bands. And I was like, that's fair. And it's
So,
sentimental, and it's my grandmother's ring. So I'm like, I like that.
so do you think if you guys, okay, so let's fast forward. You guys are going to get married and you come to the conclusion. We don't know what the conclusion is going to be yet. Like
Yeah.
you come to the conclusion that you're going to mix your last names. So now you're going to be Swellington or whatever we said it was earlier. Okay. So let's say you guys come to a term. You're going to mix. You're going to mix your last name,
Yeah.
and it comes to a point to where if you do mix the last name, you can no longer have the ring. What are you going to do?
Well, I got the ring.
Oh, you already got it?
No, it's come on the way.
Oh, it's en route
No,
as
no.
we.
My mom's going to Guatemala in March,
Mhm.
and she's going to stop through San Antonio. She's like, I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
come
you'll
see
have it in
you.
your possession.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because I was like, you could ship it. She's like, I'm not shipping this thing. I was like, fair.
Yeah,
And I don't
fair.
need it right now. Like, I'm not,
Right.
like, again, I'm not doing it. Realistically, I'm not doing it before summer.
Right.
So,
I was just trying to have a
yeah.
conflict in there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's another thing is like, if I do it, like, am I ostracized from the family? Am I out of the will?
Right.
It's like, and then there was a discussion like, oh, we can keep our last names, but the kids, like, do we just mesh theirs and we started with them?
Well, I would think you would want your kids to have the same last name as you, whether it's hyphenated or
Yeah.
mixed between the
Yeah.
two.
Well, and to another point of just feminism in general, it's like a woman carries the baby. Like, all I do is like 10-20 minutes of work. And
On a good day.
you know, and then they carry this baby for 9 months, and it's like, yeah, that baby's mine. It's my last name.
Mm-hmm.
It's another strange concept,
Yeah,
which
it is
goes back to
weird.
like women are property and kids are property, and you could sell them. Back during the Great Depression, kids were getting sold left and right because people were poor.
Labor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Do I afford feeding this kid for another week, or do I sell him for $20, and which feeds my family for another 2 months?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting, it's just ideas and thoughts and just
Yeah.
processing these things now that we're in a new time. And I'm not saying I one way or another, like I do understand traditions, but I do understand these new thoughts and ideas. But it bothers me when someone's like, stop thinking that way, or
Yeah.
I don't like that idea because it's wrong. It's like, it's not wrong. It's just an idea, or it's just I'm just thinking. It's like, don't think like that. It's like, now it makes me want to do it. It's like that whole rebel
Out of
thing.
spite. Yeah.
Yeah, be like, don't tell me. Like,
Yeah.
I just have an idea. Like, I never said I was going to do it or not.
Dude, and that's the thing with like and I'm not degrading anyone's thought process, whether you're thinking new ideas or old ideas. That's not what I'm saying. But like there was a quote, and I forget who said it, or it might not even be a quote, it might just be a saying. It's like simple minds discuss people, medium minds discuss events, and
Yeah.
great minds discuss ideas, or something along those
Yeah.
lines, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like just getting in the hung up thing of like, we've all heard like, oh, we're doing it this way because this is the way it's always been done.
Yeah. It's tradition. And
And
I
it's like,
get it.
but why? Like, why can't I? Is this illegal? Is it illegal for me to do this? Okay,
Yeah.
then why can't
Yeah.
I have my own? I can do
Yeah.
whatever I want.
Yeah. And then it's just like, granted, it's a little bit different of a thought, but I was like bringing up how like it was obviously this country's been racist, but they were extremely racist to like Jews, and Jews changed their name all the time to make it more Americanized,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
And it was like they just changed their name because people were being awful to them. Like
yeah,
changing names is not a new thing, or hyphenating names, you know?
yeah. And people
This
get
whole
caught up in like the identity of a name.
yeah,
Dude, when you think about it, I mean, with any word, any word, water bottle, all
yeah,
we're doing is making sounds with our
yeah,
mouth to communicate what something
yeah.
is.
Like Schlesinger wasn't always Schlesinger
Yeah, where did it originally come
or
from?
Pierce.
Somebody had to make those sounds with their
Yeah.
mouth for the first time.
And there's different ways to spell it. I've seen people with two I's. So Sles and then Siinger.
Yeah.
It's
Who's to
like,
say that you can't make up your own last name?
yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, obviously I wouldn't do it, but, like the idea of like, because I love my family, she loves her family, but people who don't, and they're like, we changed our name to the place we met.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it wouldn't be like, oh, John Burger King or whatever, but like the street, you know what I mean? Like the street, like John Pine Top, or I don't,
Yeah,
like,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, that's kind of a cool idea.
Dude,
And it's just an idea.
and if you think about it, at some point in all of our family's history, there was someone that did that.
Yeah.
Because that name wasn't always okay. Let's trace it back to the beginning of time. Like,
Yeah.
no, Pierce or Schlesinger, it wasn't
Yeah.
the name that's always been there. At one point, somebody was like, "Hey, our last name is this."
Yeah. I've never met in my life one person with the last name Shakespeare. There's no Shakespeare's anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there's no more Shakespeare.
Good point, dude.
Like, somebody changed their name, and like, obviously, he never had kids, but I'm assuming he had other family members.
I'm sure there's someone out there with the last name Shakespeare.
Probably. I never met him.
Dude, that's what you start. That's y'all's new last name.
No, I'm not doing Shakespeare.
Peter Shakespeare. I almost said Peter Schlesinger because it still starts with an S.
Yeah. Okay.
The Shakespeares, dude. and then you guys are gonna make waves. You're gonna make history, and then you have your own Netflix special called The Shakespeares, and it's just a reality show following you and your kids around.
Yeah.
The Shakespeares. That's
Copyrighted.
Copyrighted, yeah.
Patent pending.
Yeah, that's mental, or what's it called? Like when it's in your mind, like you have an idea, mental copyright. No,
There's like what you're talking about. I forget.
But now it's gonna bug me if I don't think of the word.
Intellectual property.
Yes, thank you. Intellectual property.
IP. Yeah. Yeah. But it's just it's just an interesting concept, and
It is. I like it.
I don't know what we're gonna do. And obviously we'll cross that road when we get there, but it is also in general just hella paperwork to get your name changed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another reason she just doesn't want to do it. She's like, I gotta do all the paperwork to change it to your name.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you can still be married and keep each other's
exactly
and keep your name.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. But it was just interesting. Like, it's interesting having the conversation with her because like it's just ideas and we're just talking about it. And it's just like it's fun playing around with it and thinking about it and like the history of all these things. And then I bring it up to somebody else and they're like, don't you dare. Like, like it's tradition. You're gonna disrespect them and this and that. I'm like, wow, like, can we pump the brakes? Like, let's just talk. Like, it's talking.
Yeah, but see, with people like that, you can't talk with them. So like anytime that I come into like contact with someone like that,
Yeah.
I'd say what they want me to say. I say,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah,
I'm
you're
not that.
right.
I'm not that.
You're I know you're not." I
Yeah.
just am like, "Okay, I'm not gonna communicate with you anymore,
I
and I'm
dude,
just
I
gonna."
spite. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely doing it now.
I'm just like, "Okay, I know you're right. I wasn't thinking of it that way. Thank you." And then I just keep. It's like it's like a little thing in my head. Like you
Yeah.
tell people what they want to hear, and
Yeah.
then you still have your own thought. And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm still thinking what I want to think.
Yeah. Because like even with you, or like when we got our tattoo, like all my tattoos, my mom was like, "Don't you ever think about getting a tattoo." And now I got what 6?
You're like, okay, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
And
what I
she,
want.
I don't think she even knows about the new one, but the other one, she was like, the first one, she was like, "All right, I like that." And then she saw the hand ones, and she's like, "All right, I like those too." It's like, so you're open to your mind changing. Like, let's
Yeah,
talk. Like, obviously, your brain can change. So why are you so strict and rigid right now? Like,
yeah,
your mind can change thoughts.
right, dude. Hold on, with the tattoo thing, I've been seeing these. I don't know if it's a trend on TikTok, but people are getting these like fake face tats and
Yeah,
then like recording their parents' reaction. Dude, I would die if you did that and got like a fake, like just even like something like on your eye, like a teardrop or a star,
yeah. On
whatever.
TikTok, have you seen the ads for the fake tattoos? When you're
Uh,
swiping through, it's like there's always like it's the same ad, and it's a guy getting like a tree on the side of his ribs.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's like these fake tattoos. They last for like a month or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, it's kind of a cool idea of someone who like is thinking about getting a tattoo.
Test it out. Yeah.
Test it out, see how I feel after a month, people's reactions, my parents, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I'm like, I kind of want to see what, like, get some and just like kind of fuck around on my body, like put one on like my forearm and be like, look, mom.
Yeah. Dude, but the face would be a different level.
Oh, dude, just get like a smiley face.
But you have to film the reaction, dude. She might start crying.
Oh, dude, she'd lose it. So would my dad. There'd be an SOS call throughout my whole family.
Oh yeah.
Dude, my whole family would be like, Peter is dead to us. Don't
But the whole
ever.
thing, here's the kicker. You don't tell them that it's fake until it's just like gone. And like you let them do all their roasting and say all the bad things. And then like a month later, or like the next time you're at Christmas or whatever,
Yeah.
it's just gone. And you're like,
Be
what are
like,
you
what?
talking about? And then you act like it never happened.
The Mandela effect.
You act like it never happened and be like, what are you on my face? You think I'm gonna get a tattoo on my face? What are you talking about? And then you just make everybody think they're crazy.
Yeah, dude. That is a great idea.
That's the long play right there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I do like that. I would definitely, that would be me. I would do that for sure. Maybe not like on my face, but like in my neck, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. And then just, what are you talking about? Like you're down the road.
Yeah.
Do you see a tattoo?
Yeah.
What are you talking
Just
about?
get like Amanda's name.
Or like on your
Get
knuckles.
no regrets.
Yeah. Or like a really bad, like misspelled tattoo.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. That would be good.
Oh, dude.
I kind of want to do that now.
Just put like faith with an E at the end. So it's like, wait, I thought there was an E at the end of faith.
Everybody's like, okay.
Are you stupid?
What are you talking about?
You really had faith in that tattoo artist.
Faith Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of what was on my mind the last.
I like it, dude. I say you call yourself whatever you want to call yourself.
Yeah.
Like it always goes back to like Big Daddy. He's like, that's where this idea started. He's like, he gets the kid and he's like, what do you want to call yourself? He's like, your name's Julian. He's like, do you even like that name? He's like, what do you want to be called? He says Frankenstein. He said, all right, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
That's your new last name.
Yeah.
The Frankensteins.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And maybe we won't change it at all. Like she just keeps her name, but like when it comes to the kid, like when we cross that road with kids, but it's just like the idea of like, why not? That just bothers me.
Don't let it bother you.
It's like Ted Lasso. Just be curious.
Oh, dude, that was such a good show.
I know. I'm glad you watched it, dude. I told you you'd like it.
I like it. I just wish that there was more content. Like they're 30-minute episodes.
No, they're not.
They're 30-minute episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought there were like 40. This is Apple TV.
All I'm getting at is they're not hour-long episodes.
Okay.
They're short. I think they're 30, maybe 40. Either
Yeah.
way. But yeah, blew through the first 2 seasons, and I want more.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And I'm bummed
And I
knowing that
started at the
there's not going to
beginning,
be
so
a
I had to
fourth.
wait. I had to wait for season 2. Now you actually got 2 full seasons. I'm like,
Dude, I like it. There's a lot, and it's an easy watch, and like
yeah,
the lessons in them
yeah,
are easy to grasp and everything like that. So,
yeah,
so people could shit on it that way, but I like those lessons
yeah,
like that come through. It's like with the Nate, for example. It's like the lesson with Nate is like, don't shit on people on your way up to the top because you're
yeah,
going to meet those people on the way back down.
yeah,
You know, it's just like nice reminders like that, seeing
yeah,
it in like a real world scenario.
yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, you
yeah.
don't want
And
to
there's
be in it.
obviously some blatant lessons, and then
Yeah.
there's some that you kind of like have to grasp a little bit tighter if you're
Yeah.
like intellectually there.
Hmm.
And it's just good writing, dude.
I love it.
Yeah. Because even like maybe it's not a lesson, but like the whole thing with Jamie, people who haven't watched it, watch it. But like Jamie hits on his girlfriend, Roy's girlfriend,
Kaylee.
Kaylee,
Kaylee.
and then so did Nate, and Nate actually kissed her, and he wasn't upset,
Yeah.
but he was super upset with Jamie, and it's
Yep.
like the whole lesson of like some people will always look at you as like you're not
A threat.
a threat, and it's just like you could be a threat, and it sucks to feel that way because
Hmm.
we've all felt that way at some point. It's like I'm not a threat. Like I know I'm not the big dog, but like respect me as a human.
Dude, and that's so at that point, whenever that happened, Nate was already like on his path of being an asshole.
Yeah,
So whenever he got busted and the guy was just like, no, it's okay, mate.
yeah,
I was like, yes. I was like, let that dude know he ain't shit.
yeah. But it
That-
also feels bad. Like
Yeah.
you also feel bad for Nate because you're like, man,
Not
like
if I didn't in that point, because he was already being an asshole, dude.
yeah. I guess I felt that way before in my life. I was like, really?
You're not
You know?
mad.
Like
Yeah.
I kiss your girlfriend, like regardless of who I am. Like I don't care who. If anybody kissed my girlfriend or wife or fiance, I'd be like, I don't care if you're Hasbullah or fucking
Jude
who's
Law.
that? Yeah, like I don't care. Like don't do that.
But dude,
like,
if you think about it, that's the power move. Just be like,
it
oh
is
no,
the
it's
power
okay.
move. Yeah,
It's okay.
but
Not
even
not
the
worried
fact,
about it.
yeah. So it's just some great writing. Great
Mhm.
writing.
Dude, it's crazy because I started out. I was telling you that we were texting about it a while back, and I started out hating the
Yeah,
what's
the
the name
owner.
chick? Yeah, what's her name?
I forget.
I forget too. But like in the beginning, you're like, okay, this is the villain. Like I hate this person.
Yeah,
And then like Nate starts out, and you're like, oh, like this guy's getting empowered and he feels good. Like I
Yeah.
like him. But by the end, you're like liking the owner,
Yeah.
like hating Nate, or at least I was.
yeah. And obviously it's purposeful, but I never really hated the owner because I understood why she was doing what she was doing.
She was she was literally using other people and hurting other people just to hurt someone that had hurt her. Like you can't do that.
But to Ted's point, he's like, people who are going through divorce like do awful things, and so like,
Doesn't make it okay.
No, but like it's a little bit like I understood. Like it wasn't right, but I understood.
Sure. Like if you're gonna be like if someone hurts you
And as much
and
as much as she wanted to hurt him, she couldn't.
yeah.
Even she got the writer, and he's like, as much as like I hate this guy, he's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trent Grimm, independent. He's like, hey Trent.
I wound up liking him too. Like,
Yeah.
like the point where he was like, he texted Ted and was like, hey, sending you this because I respect you as a person, but as a journalist, I have to let this story out.
Yeah.
Like that's the point where I was like, okay, I like Trent.
Yeah. That was the point. I liked him. It's the first time I met him.
Trent Grimm, the Independent. Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already watched it, sorry for all the spoilers. But
Yeah,
get on it.
I've been trying to get you on this train for about a year now.
I know.
Dude, and it's one of the best shows I've seen in a long time.
It's really good.
Now that you're on Apple TV, you got to watch this show called. Damn it!
Damn it.
No, because I've watched a couple shows. Apple TV shows. It's kind of a trippy sci-fi, and it takes a little while, but there's a lot of like twists and turns, and you're just like, what is going on?
Okay.
Because it goes like 30 years in the future, but you're still seeing people that are in the present, and then it skips forward more years, and you're like, what in the hell? But it's such a
Gotcha.
good show. Foundations.
Foundations on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's a
have you watched it's on Netflix. It's like a little mini documentary series. It's called Bad Sport. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Dude, watch that because it's like it breaks down. It's like basically each episode is a different like conspiracy, not conspiracy, like what's the word? A scandal. There's like different scandals and bunch of different sports themes. Like
I've heard of it. There was like one about hockey that was like pretty crazy.
No. There's not a hockey one in it. There's one about basketball. There's one about horse riding.
Palace?
No, Malice of the Palace isn't part of this. This is a whole different thing. It's called Bad Sport. There's a basketball one. There's a figure skating one. There's a horse riding one. There's a race car one. And I was like skeptical, like going into it. I watched the basketball one because I enjoy basketball.
What was the scandal about?
So it was this college basketball player at Arizona State, and he got caught up with this bookie and started betting and everything like that, got himself in debt. And then to pay off some of his debt, he had to start shaving points in these games and wound up like making all this money and everything like that. But then everybody like gets caught. It's a really cool concept because this dude, he was like, he would, if he hadn't got caught up in this, he would be, we would know his name as like one of the great NBA players.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like what kicked it off. And then like the next episodes were like horse riding, race car. And I'm like, dude, I don't care about this. But like when you start it, you're like, I'm a figure skating fan now. Like, you're like, I'm into this.
Because there was another series that came out a couple months ago about like the Malice at the Palace was one episode.
Yep.
And then there was the Tanya Harding thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more high profile, like scandals.
Yep.
And then there was one about this hockey team in like Michigan. Did you see this?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like run by the mafia, or like it was owned by the mafia's 18-year-old son.
Yep.
And I was like, the only one I ever watched was the Malice at the Palace because like that one I vividly remember, and I was like, I want to see more of what behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I
so
never
this is like the exact same concept of like those,
but lower profile, but still just as scandalous.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Dude, and the horse riding one, there I won't give it away, but they're like start with whatever you want. But the horse riding one like caught me by surprise. It's like it's like, oh shit. And it's like
yeah, right now, the lady got me watching The Crown.
Oh God. I've heard about that.
Yeah. I actually kind of like it.
Is it good?
Yeah. Well, it's a historical series, so it's like based on real life.
Right.
Whereas like Bridgerton is just a fiction series on England. But this one actually involves like the actual Queen of England, and it follows her life from being, 18 to when she becomes the monarch at 22, and it's like following their lives. And
gotcha.
Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of things I didn't know about. And apparently they did their research because the Queen of England was like, we like this, which she rarely makes, statements about shows about her. So she was like, I like the show. And I was like, and I like historical stuff. Obviously Schindler's List and other things.
Right.
Saving Private Ryan, I like. So I gave it a shot. And now I'm hooked. And I'm like, now I got to know more. The crowd. Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah. But
what do you got going on the rest of the day? Yeah, dude.
Wingstop.
Oh, Wingstop. I wish you had reminded me of that.
I'm
gonna see if I can campaign for a Wingstop trip.
Drive an hour for wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're getting Wingstop. Another thing, I guess, to make this episode a little bit longer. So the lady is thinking about buying a house. Not anytime soon, but we made an appointment today to go see a house just to get her feet wet with the realtor that helped me buy this house. So she could just answer our questions. And answer her questions mainly because I've been through it already. But just answer questions and see like how the process goes about it, like doing your own little inspection when you walk through a house and things like that, and just giving her pointers. And so we're going to go see this house about 10 minutes north of me. It's really nice.
I thought she was going to move in with you.
We've talked about that, but we're also talking about like if she buys a house, do we rent this? Do we sell this and buy a bigger? Like we just want more land, really.
Yeah, smart.
And that one has more land, and it's in a better neighborhood, better school district.
Then you could rent the one you're in out.
Rent it or sell it and buy something else. Because we've also talked about like passive income. Be like, maybe we sell this and buy a laundromat and just have money coming in, or like buy one of those spray wash car washes.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, dude, let those quarters trickle in, monthly.
Yeah.
So we've just trying to like expand our portfolio and our lives and things like that. Trying to find.
Yeah.
So we're just having those discussions.
I like
adulting marriage discussions.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, like we're also saying like, well, my mortgage is probably the same amount as what your sister is paying for her little apartment. Like maybe she rents it out for me and now she has all this space for her 2 kids.
There you go.
Or it's like, do we want to stay here? Like, yes, let's talk about that, but do we want to stay in San Antonio?
Yeah.
So
figuring it all out.
Yeah.
I like it. Making moves.
Yeah. So that we're gonna go see that and then get Wingstop and maybe go see Spider-Man tonight.
Oh, cool.
So
let me know how it is.
Yeah. My brother saw it. He said it's really good.
Cool.
And reviews are coming out. They're saying it's one of the best Marvel movies. You know me. I'm like, let's go.
I saw a really funny. It was like a clip. It might have been a TikTok. I'm pretty sure it was a TikTok. This kid walks up. So the person filming is filming the person walk up to the counter. So it's like third person filming.
I saw it.
He walks up and he's got this Spider-Man outfit. And he's like, 2 tickets, please. And the guy is like, for what movie? And then the guy just looks at the camera.
And he's like, really?
He doesn't even say anything. He just like looks at the camera.
Yeah, because when he's filming it, you only see him from the neck down, and he's wearing a sweater. So you're like, why is he filming him?
Yeah.
But then he's like, what movie? And he turns, and he's wearing the Spider-Man mask. Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy your wings. Enjoy Spider-Man.
Yeah. What are you doing today? No gym.
Man. Not going to the fucking gym. God.
Gonna get another box of cereal and cry. Use my tears as use my tears as
yeah. I don't know. Gonna get something to eat. Don't know what it's gonna be.
You should go see Spider-Man.
Maybe.
You got nothing going on.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
I'll let you know.
All right.
All right, man. All right, we'll be back.
Watching.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't really talk to anybody today except us. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
We'll be back same time, same place next week. And later.